Lieutenant Nirmaljit Singh Sekhon, who was awarded the Paramveer Chakra in the 1971 operations. To begin the proceedings, may I now request Lieutenant General Virendra Vats, Youth Seva Medal, Sena Medal, Vishish Seva Medal, Commandant Defence Services Staff College, Wellington, to deliver the welcome address.
Honorable Raksha Mantri, Shri Rajnath Singh, General Anil Chauhan, Param Vishish Seva Medal, Uttam Youth Seva Medal, Ati Vishish Seva Medal, Sena Medal, Vishish Seva Medal, Chief of Defence Staff, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Jai Hind and good morning to all of you. On this momentous occasion, it is indeed a matter of immense pride for the Defence Services Staff College to have amidst us today Honorable Raksha Mantri, Shri Rajnath Singh, as the chief guest for the convocation ceremony of the 80th staff course in spite of his busy schedule. I, on behalf of entire Defence Services Staff College, extend a warm welcome and convey our gratitude to the Honorable Raksha Mantri. Sir, seated before you are 478 student officers of the 80th staff course, faculty of the college with their spouses. The student officers for the course are drawn from 3 wings of our armed forces and allied services. We also have a representation of 38 international student officers from 26 friendly foreign countries. Today's convocation ceremony marks the culmination of the 45 weeks long course that commenced on 3rd of June 2024. The aim of the course, sir, is to train and educate selected officers of the armed forces for staff and command functions across the entire spectrum of conflict in a single and joint service environment. In appointments tenable by majors to colonels in the army and their equivalent ranks in the Navy and Air Force. Operations and technology, thereby living up to the college motto, Yuddham Pragya, to war with wisdom. Sir, today's event marks an important step in the military career of these officers. These officers till now had functioned mainly at the tactical level in their respective services. Henceforth, they will have their first staff exposure to operation and strategic levels of planning and decision making in the armed forces, and some of them will perform in joint services environment. We are confident that with the knowledge, skills and attitude that they have developed during the course, they will be able to discharge their duties with due diligence and competence. So as you are aware, the ever-changing character of warfare, shaped by rapid technological advancement, demands a paradigm shift in how we prepare our future military leaders. Warfare is no longer confined to traditional battlefields. It now spans across multiple domains to include artificial intelligence, autonomous systems, and information warfare. In fact, in today's world, we are witnessing a phenomenon where everything is being weaponized, be it raw material, energy resources, or even water. To effectively respond to these challenges, military education must evolve to foster intellectual agility, inter-domain synergy, and a profound understanding about changing landscape of warfare. Only through this transformation can we ensure that our officers are equipped to lead with strategic foresight and operational precision. Here at the Staff College, it is our constant endeavor to prepare our officers to meet these challenges, thereby shaping the trajectory of the future of our armed forces. Our focused endeavor is realized due to extremely competent faculty from 3 services. They serve as role models and mentors for student officers and focus on jointness and integration at the tactical and operational levels. Since our establishment in 1948, we have trained more than 2,000 international student officers as part of our diplomatic outreach. Our notable alumni include heads of state and militaries from across the world. To mention a few, Major General Gotabaya Rajapaksa, former President of Sri Lanka, is an alumni of 39th Staff Course who graduated in 1983. Mr. Muhammadu Buhari, former President of Nigeria, did the 29th Staff Course in 1973. General Ibrahim Hilmi, Chief of Defence Force of Maldives, is a graduate of 65th Staff Course in 2010. And Lieutenant General Batu Shering, Chief of Operations of Royal Bhutan Army, is a graduate of 37th Staff Course in 1981. So we are extremely grateful to you for having made it convenient to visit our college this morning. Your visit shall inspire all of us here to fulfill the mandate bestowed upon us with a sense of patriotism and professional pride. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. May I now request Lieutenant General Virendra Vats, Commandant Defence Services Staff College, to present the college memento to the Honorable Raksha Mantri. On behalf of Commandant Defence Services Staff College, I now request the Honorable Raksha Mantri, Shri Rajnath Singh, to deliver the convocation address.
Chief of Defence Staff General Anil Chauhan, Lieutenant General Virendra Vats, Commandant Defence Services Staff College, Directing Staff and Instructors of DSSC, graduating officers from India and friendly foreign countries and their family members, friends from media, ladies and gentlemen. Before starting my address, I would like to express solidarity and support of the people of India for Myanmar and Thailand in face of the massive earthquake a few days ago. India has always stood by its friends as a first responder in times of crisis, and we consider it as our duty to be able to deliver timely relief to the people of Myanmar. It is a matter of great pleasure for me to be here today to address a gathering of the vibrant and dynamic young military leaders of the armed forces of India and friendly nations who stand at a confluence of knowledge, awareness, and leadership skills, ready to contribute to the security and development of our great country. I congratulate each one of you for having successfully completed the course. Friends, today, as I gaze through the hall, I see the pride of the armed forces of India and other nations. A generation of military leaders that will endure a period of accelerated change that will be accompanied by unique and disruptive challenges. And I also see the future strategic military leaders who will have the onerous task of ensuring the national security of your respective countries. Each one of you sitting here is destined to participate in the national efforts towards building a prosperous future for your people. A great responsibility awaits you. Friends, today I want to share some insights about the complex environment that you will face, the challenges that you will need to overcome, and the expectations that you will need to fulfill in your journey ahead. Friends, global geopolitics today is being redefined by three key metrics: a major pivot towards prioritizing national security, a technological tsunami that is sweeping the global landscape and accelerating innovation. As national security professionals, you will do well to study the menaces of these trends in depth if you have to stay ahead on a strategic military change curve. Friends, the global geopolitical situation is marked by tremendous flux, with rapidly shifting alignments, disruptions, and conflicts being the order of the day. Issues such as deglobalization, intense nationalism, resource scarcity, human migration, food security, climate concerns, and threat of global pandemics loom large. This is accompanied by the weaponization of trade and finance and anxieties that are created due to disruption of the supply chains, monopoly over disruptive technologies, and anxieties over the transparency of data flows. It is no surprise that the world is moving to an era of self-help and unilateral decisions, leading to a decline of the global institutions and order. And we are seeing this unfold before our very eyes today. Threat technology today is a driving geopolitics and national security like never before. Artificial intelligence and the emerging basket of technologies, robotics, military autonomy, drones, quantum, blockchain, space, cyber, electronics, additive manufacturing, and the like are revolutionizing defense and war fighting in critical ways. Warfare is moving rapidly beyond the traditional domains of land, sea, and air to space, cyber, the undersea, and newer domains of creative endeavor. Drones, for instance, has emerged in Ukraine-Russia conflict virtually as a new arm, if not a transformative science. The majority of the losses of the soldiers and the equipment have been attributed neither to traditional artillery nor to armor, but to drones. Space capacities in the low Earth orbit, similarly, are transforming military intelligence, persistent surveillance, positioning, targeting, and communications, thus taking combat to a new high. The power of technological innovation in combat threats is breathtaking indeed. Friends, the ongoing conflicts and the contemporary trends highlight the fact that the traditional notions of warfare are being rewritten. Emerging technologies are impacting the character of war with unmanned systems and advent of the artificial intelligence forecasting an era of autonomous warfare. Warfare today has gone beyond the traditional battlefields of land, sea, and air, and armed forces will increasingly need to operate jointly in multi-domain environment where cyber, space, and information warfare will be as potent as conventional operations. We are in the age of the gray zone and hybrid warfare, where cyber attacks, disinformation campaigns, and economic warfare have become tools that can prosecute and achieve politico-military aims without a single shot being fired. Friends, India and the world today faces a diverse range of security challenges. In our case, we face persistent threats along our northern and western borders. This is further compounded by the threat of the proxy war and terrorism emanating from the epicenter of terrorism in our neighborhood. Ongoing conflict in West Asia and geopolitical tensions in the Indo-Pacific to our east have their impact on our overall security calculus. In addition, capability to address non-traditional security threats to include natural disasters and the climate change effects are increasingly becoming important. This brings me to the question that what does this imply for all of you? In the environment that I have just described, where the world around us is evolving rapidly with new security dynamics and challenges emerging every day, the focus of every nation and each one of you has to remain ahead of the curve and be future ready. Friends, as India moves towards our Prime Minister's visionary goal of the Viksit Bharat by 2047, a fully developed, self-reliant and globally respected India, it is imperative to recognize that this vision rests firmly on two fundamental pillars. Surakshit Bharat, or secure India, and Sashakt Bharat, or strong India. While Surakshit Bharat gives us the confidence to dream, Sashakt Bharat gives us the strength to achieve those dreams. Our armed forces, through unwavering vigilance and sacrifice, ensure a secure India. So how are we to achieve this vision? Friends, I feel the approach has to be guided by the Defense Service Staff College. Here, with 8 to 10 years of the average service, you have a long career span ahead of you, where you could be the future change makers. Let me explain how. The start point has to be the development and the modernization of our armed forces. Technology today is not a support element but a decisive enabler of operations. Our armed forces must therefore not only keep pace with technological changes, but also lead it. The need for us is to develop low-cost, high-tech solutions and enhance the fighting capability of the armed forces. In order to remain capable and relevant for future wars, we need to vigorously pursue the transformation of our armed forces. New perspectives, doctrines, concepts of operation, and structures need to be created and refined in keeping with the changing nature of threats and war fighting methodologies. Friends, as I highlighted earlier, the canvas of the threats that we face and therefore the need to respond to has to be enhanced. So while enhancing our capabilities to prosecute conventional war and respond to conventional threats, we must ensure that we cater for capability and capacity to address the challenges of non-traditional threats as well. The need to respond to natural disasters is a case in point. Friends, the second important aspect is that this focus on development and modernization is increasingly realized through Atmanirbhar or self-reliance in defense. Lessons of the ongoing conflicts teach us that building resilient, indigenous, and future-ready defense technological and the manufacturing ecosystem is not an option but a strategic necessity. Thirdly, protecting the national security of our nation will require us to enhance synergy between all components of our national power. Therefore, fostering a whole-of-nation approach while undertaking actions in the entire spectrum of diplomatic, informational, military, economic, and technological domains is key to ensuring success in this endeavor. Finally, we need to remember that achieving a better future and prosperity for our peoples and the nation will always remain a collective pursuit. Increasing connectivities and dependencies among countries and peoples implies that the multitude of the challenges are better faced in concert with each other than individually. Mutual interest and synergy will help us to achieve such concert at sub-regional, regional, and even global levels. Friends, 10 years ago, our Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi laid the foundation of the vision of the Sagar, which stands for security and growth for all in the region. This vision was for the stability and the prosperity of the Indian Ocean region. Today, we have taken this further, and our Prime Minister has announced our vision for the global South, which going beyond Sagar is defined as Mahasagar. That is mutual and holistic advancement of the security and growth across regions. Friends, in pursuit of our need to modernize and remain relevant for the future, Ministry of Defence has decided to observe year 2025 as the year of reforms. This would aim at transforming the armed forces into a technologically advanced, combat-ready force capable of multi-domain integrated operations. 9 broad areas have been identified, and addressing the entire range of modernization imperatives to include defense acquisition and procedural reforms. I am pleased to share that collectively we are making significant progress on the goals we have set for ourselves. Friends, this brings me to the final question of what is your role and responsibility in this entire endeavor. I wish to define this by the first alphabet A 5 times. First and foremost is aware. First and foremost is all of you will need to remain aware of the environment and its implications for you as war fighters and protectors of the national security. This will require that you must develop the ability of the critical thinkers capable of analyzing issues, extracting relevant deductions, and anticipating future requirements. Be conscious of the changing technology, the geopolitical landscape, and the emerging national security requirements. Secondly, it necessitates that each one of you acquires the ability. Next day, you require the ability and skill sets that are required by the future leaders to prosecute war. This involves the ability to understand and employ technology, optimize the fields that were once peripheral, but we are now central to modern defense strategy, and the broader strategic implications of the new and emerging domains of warfare. Thirdly, it is crucial that each one of you imbibes adaptability and agility as key virtues. The battlefield of tomorrow will require leaders who can adapt to unforeseen circumstances, leverage technologies to their advantage, and come out with innovative solutions. Lastly, it is expected that each one of you becomes ambassadors of their respective armed forces. There are 2 facets to this role. Each one of you has to be an ambassador of change in his or her respective domains and area of influence. By questioning the status quo and infusing new ideas, perspectives, and energies into your own spheres, you will foster a cultural revolution that will catalyze the transformation process. Each one of you also has to be the perfect role model of the organization that he or she represents among the society at large. As our ancient scriptures guide us, Seva Paramo Dharma, service is the highest duty, must guide our every decision. Leadership is earned through integrity. Leadership is earned through integrity, competence, and courage, and your conduct, communication, and decisions must always reflect the highest standards of the military professionalism. To our friends from foreign militaries, I hope your time in India has been professionally enriching and personally meaningful. You have lived the Indian principle of the Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The world is a one family. I sincerely hope that the bonds of camaraderie and mutual respect that you have built here will evolve into lasting friendship and enduring partnership amongst each one of you and between our nations. I am also sure that your families will carry warm memories from Wellington and India for years to come. When you return, I look upon each one of you not only as a leaders of your armed forces, but as ambassadors of India in spirit and friendship. While Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the whole world is a family, is a noble thought, we must be equally alive to the wisdom of the Swami Vivekananda, who drew our attention to the realities of the international system when he observed that the world is the great gymnasium where nations come to make themselves strong. I would like to repeat it. He observed that the world is the great gymnasium where nations come to make themselves strong. So in the international system, power matters and deterrence is critical. Peace through strength must be your abiding motto. I congratulate each one of you on completing this rigorous course and earning your master's degree from the University of Madras. I also extend my appreciation to your families for their unwavering support during this demanding journey. I commend the Commandant and the faculty of DSSC for their outstanding work in preparing the next generation of tri-service leaders, officers who are ready for the realities of today's world and the uncertainties of tomorrow, and officers who shall operate jointly and fight in an integrated manner. I would also take this moment to congratulate Chief of Defence Staff General Anil Chauhan for his initiative in introducing the Deep Purple Division at DSSC. I am told that this division would prove to be a pioneer for enhancing jointness and integration in professional military education. Finally, as you step out of the hall today and graduate to more complex roles, let me remind you, you are no longer just executors of plan, but stewards of the transformation. Amongst you are the future strategic leaders of the armed forces. Our nations expect you to shoulder the responsibility to lead with purpose, to steer with the clarity, and to inspire with the conviction. Dreams of Viksit Bharat and safety and security of our nations ride on your passion, commitment, and a strong will. The challenge ahead will test your intellect, your character, and your composure, but in those very tests lie your greatest opportunity for growth. In words of the Swami Vivekananda, arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. Let our leadership be bold. Let our legacy be timeless. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you, sir. At the culmination of each staff course, the Defence Services Staff College confers medals to student officers standing first in various disciplines from each of these three services. A total of 9 medals and 1 cash award will be conferred today for outstanding performance during the 80th Staff Corps.